record chains going down. I mean, we've lost a lot of great stores that we used to go peruse in and hang out in, and you know, at the end of the day,
Peaches,
Tower, Easy Street's left, you know, but I don't know how much longer they're going to hang on. I mean, you know, and even here in the South Sound, we used to have some, you know, really cool CDs. So we have a few left, but
just a few,
not many.
So do you think it's a lazy thing? People just don't want to get out and go when they can just be online and.
Well, let's talk to Joe. Let's ask Joe about that, because in this digital age, you know, kids like Wonder Boy's age and below, they're talking about how CDs won't even exist in 2 years because everything's digital download, and we heard the same thing about vinyl, but yet vinyl kind of has had a resurgence here lately. What are your thoughts on people in general, what their patterns are as far as the music? Is it all going digital, or do you think people are still, like me, geeks, and they want the album cover, they want to read the liner notes? I like the entire package, but I think I'm a dinosaur.
But that can be digital too now.
Yeah, but it sucks.
You can get the art and everything.
Yeah, but it blows, man. It's not the same as hanging on to it.
I agree.
Yeah, I do think vinyl, it's making a huge resurgence. In the first half of 2011, there was 41% growth in the vinyl segment of the business, whereas downloads were flat and CDs are tanking. So the majors have all been talking about dropping the CD as a format in 2012, and they're gearing up to do vinyl.
Wow.
So the vinyl will sort of isn't that crazy?
It's either vinyl or a download.
Because I remember, I specifically remember, let's just take Peaches. When Peaches was all vinyl, and then there was a little section in the back that were cassettes. Then pretty soon it switched. It was all cassettes, a little bit of vinyl. Then vinyl went completely away.
Yeah.
And then the cassettes moved back there and all the CDs moved in, and everyone's like, this is it. CDs are the...
It's a great way, vinyl's a great way to get people engaged with the music again now.
Yeah.
People are really getting into the art of the packaging.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
And you got to put the needle on the record.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's a partnership. I'm gonna put this needle on you. I'm not gonna scratch you. As a matter of fact, I want to skip to song 3, so I'm gonna have to really eyeball this.
Yeah, you've got to get a lot more engaged as a
interactive.
Because you can't just
It's like operation.
Let it run in the background. You've got to be there to
And let's
listen to
not
the record
forget
and
the
be engaged
difference
with
in
it.
sound
So,
quality either.
Oh, no,
That
there's no-
vinyl sound that
there's
just
no
can't
difference.
be duplicated.
No, I've tried. I used to hook my, put my cassette player up next to the speakers of
the vinyl.
and it just never ever translated. That no matter how BASF number I got,
That's
it was
hilarious.
never the same. Now you guys also are a record label. You guys are supporting
Yes.
local artists. Tell us who's on your label and how you branched out into that segment of it.
Well, the first band that we put a record out for is the Foghorns, and we just kind of, that was dipping our toe in the water, seeing how it works. I worked for a couple other labels around town for a few years and figuring out, what is it that you do as a label.
Who did you work for?
Seraphim Records, and I worked for Banter Records, which is actually down out of San Diego. But as a musician myself and playing around town with a lot of the people that are on our label, I figured out that I was doing all the functions of a record label, so why not make that step and start putting out records. So Foghorns are the first band that we invested in, and we're very excited about what they've been doing. As soon as I heard the recording, I knew it actually had to be on vinyl. It's not something you could it doesn't translate as well on digital, so we just went full out and did it. So.
Yeah, because we had a label in not too long ago, Finn Records, out of Ballard, and they're same thing. They're almost all
on the vinyl.
Yeah, actually, first and foremost, it comes out on
vinyl. If it does well, then they'll put it into CD or downloadable form, and so it's like, how does it do in vinyl first? So I think it's amazing to see this happening with labels. This going back to the vinyl thing,
and that they're not immediately tanking.
Oh, right.
You know, I mean, there's
That would have been suicide 15 years ago.
Yeah, but there's people out there who are actually going to purchase this, you know? And of course now, you know, it's 2011 and, you know, people from around the world can purchase whatever you're, you know, putting out there, so that kind of helps, as opposed to like, yeah, I'm down on the corner of 30th and Pacific, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a lazy thing for people buying on the internet. You were talking about brick and mortar stores versus internet. I think it's a marketing thing. Where do people spend most of their time with their eyes? Where are they looking? They're online a lot of the time, and they get all kinds of marketing influence. So how are you going to get them to buy your product if you're a brick and mortar store versus an internet store? So
Yeah,
that's a challenge.
Knick Knack Records.com is what we're talking about, and they're also a label. They have foghorns.
And that's with the silent K's.
Yes.
Yes.
Knick Records.
Like Knickerbocker
Yeah.
and the Knack.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Think, you know,
Clarifying
that's what I'm here for.
right there. What
Important stuff.
now? Comparing your sales on your site between records, CDs, and downloads, music downloads. What are you getting the most of? What do
It's
you
90% vinyl.
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I rarely sell a CD or a download. It's a lot of vinyl.
Wow.
The vinyl's a much bigger investment, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's
huge,
much
right?
bigger. It's
Because you got like
6 or 7
minimum,
times more than
yeah.
what it would cost to do a run of CDs.
minimum order because
Yeah.
of the casting. You don't,
So a band, you know, bands come in here and they talk about that, and I think a lot of folks, they don't have an idea of what they're getting into. Like, yeah, we want to do a run of 100 you know, vinyl discs. You know, I mean, what's that going to cost an average person?
Usually you can't even do a run of 100
Yeah.
of them. It's got to
Yeah.
be 500.
minimum.
3 or 500.
So then it's getting real scary.
So you're talking $1,500 to $2,000 just for the records to be pressed, and then it's another $500 to $3,000 depending on how complicated you want to get with the jackets.
Amazing.
So, you know, a run of
Ouch.
500 records. We're putting out one for Gravel Road next month, and when all is said and done, you know, it's a beautiful gatefold jacket. The artwork is incredible. So that's close to $5,000.
And that's not the studio costs or the mixing. and
No,
production or
that's just the
anything.
pressing of the
Yeah.
vinyl.
It's insane.
So I noticed on your site though that you guys have jumped into the holiday spirit, and is this true? Free shipping on all vinyl through
Absolutely.
the 12th.
Yep.
So if you're listening live tonight here
Tomorrow's
on
the last day.
NWCZ Radio, you have through Monday
Yep.
to get onto knickknackrecords.com, get some vinyl for your you know, all your special music lovers for Christmas.
We'll just
And,
slam Joe tomorrow.
yeah, I hope so. That's what I want. How do you know, because I'm looking also on your site, and you have a lot of, you know, like Iggy and the Stooges, and, you know, like I mentioned, The Clash, and a lot of vinyl from bands of, you know, a while back, and so forth. Where are you finding these? Do you buy used vinyl and you just warehouse it?
I've been collecting some used vinyl for a while and putting it up on the store, but I've also been establishing relationships with distributors. So through those distributors, I'm able to buy new vinyl from other labels, and with those relationships, it made it easy for me to start getting distribution for the bands on our label.
Nice.
So
Sure.
I'm buying things from them, giving them money. They're more than happy to help me out on the other end, helping with the distribution.
I'm assuming you're a record collector.
I am indeed.
I was gonna say my assumption would be that every now and then you come across that find that is not.
That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
What are the top 5 albums you have in your personal collection? Maybe not so well. Yeah, let's go with the top 5 first. The top 5 that you would consider monetarily the most valuable.
Oh geez, I just picked up a Chuck Berry record on Chess Records, I think. I picked it up at a flea market for like $2.
Oh.
And it's a very rare record. So that's one of
Antique
my
Roadshow, here we come.
more prized records. I don't know, I got some good stuff from Rainbow, Woody Guthrie.
And what about on the personal end? What are a couple of records that you have in your collection that to you personally, you're like, I would never get rid of these?
Jeez, that's a tough question. I don't think
Everything's
I
for
don't
sale.
have-
I don't know. You want a
I
list?
don't have that much attachment to anything.
I got a price tag on everything.
But I have some that are definitely tougher to part with.
Yeah, because I mean,
So,
a lot of record collectors get personally attached. To
Yeah,
the
I mean,
record
there's some
collection.
really good Iron Maiden records that you can probably never find again. So,
Right.
I don't know, maybe Peace of Mind. That's a tough one to come across. Things like that.
Now, for those of us who don't know the ins and outs of, because I mean, you can get vinyl, lots of different places now. There's people all of a sudden they're at swap meets, they're at people's garage sales. People are putting them out. Hell, I heard vinyl's back, so they just put it out there. If I'm flipping through, somebody's personal collection of vinyl, or I'm somewhere, like a $2 purchase, how am I to know, or how are people to know this is a really good deal, or this is one of like a billion that are out there?
Yeah, is there research,
Oh, Frampton comes
like
alive. Great.
a website for that too?
Yeah, you can do research on the internet and just see what other people are selling it for. If you type in LP vinyl in the title into Google, you can come back with a lot of different ranges of prices.
Right.
Have it like speed on your iPhone or whatever, just like type it in while you're standing there.
I just like to go with what music I like,
Yeah.
and the things I look for is make sure there's no major scratches in it, and make sure it isn't warped. Look at it from the side, make sure it's flat, and it'll
Yeah, because I've always wondered that. Because even when I let's say I'm at Sonic Boom or Easy Street or whatever, one of the brick and mortar stores, and I'm flipping through, and there's a particular artist I like. Some of them are like $4 or $5, and then all of a sudden the very same one looks about the same as like 25.
Yeah, some people just kind of geek out about the rarity of things. I really don't care about that.
There you go.
I care about, is the music good?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not into the
There's a lot of really rare albums that suck, so.
Exactly. Yeah. That's very true.
Knick Knack Records.com. There's free shipping until, was it midnight on the 12th?
Yeah.
Midnight on the 12th. So
Sure.
yeah, sure, why not? Go there and check it out. They have amazing products. Lots and lots of vinyl. Joe tells us, we're talking to Joe Johnson, he's the head honcho there. And it is only a website, but it is local. This is a Northwest thing. You get lots of hits from around the world on this thing?
Indeed, yeah. Iceland, foghorns are blowing up over there, actually.
Nice.
They have some good ties over there.
The Icelandic tour coming.
We have orders from the West Coast and East Coast,
Very good.
down to Florida.
Is there a way that you are trying to advertise you on other websites or so forth, or is this all word of mouth right now?
Currently, it's word of mouth and a lot of social media, but we're starting to branch out with some affiliate advertising, and some of our one of our bands is going on tour through the Midwest and South this
Spread the
spring.
word.
So we're kind of focusing on some different markets. We're branching out.
So if a band is on your label, is it some kind of, they have to mention it 3 times a show or something like that?
Oh, no.
KnickKnackRecords.com. Here's our next song. You got to write that in. Yeah, come
They
on.
know they want to
Contract.
sell records, and then I think they know how to push it. So.
Well, I think it's very, very, very cool what you're doing. In fact, I'm going to go stellar.
Damn. I got a drink. Hang on.
Ooh, where's the ding ding?
I think this is an amazing, stellar thing that's going on. KnickKnackRecords.com. Joe Johnson, and the fact that you guys are supporting independent and local music is just icing on the cake. The whole package of this I find phenomenal. And so best of luck in the future on this.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate you coming in. And, speaking of the Foghorns, we're going to talk to those guys in just a couple of minutes.
Very good.
Cut!
All right.